We have been filming all of our grocery hauls, but something else that I think is really important is showing you what the produce items look like still fresh weeks after I have brought them home and washed them and stored them. So today is exactly 3 weeks since I went grocery shopping and showed you that grocery haul, and these are the produce items that are still fresh in my refrigerator. So first we're going to start off with what's in the door here, and we have some parsley and cilantro. This will actually last 6 weeks, so I won't be getting any more when I go to the grocery store again next week. So I've been trying to push it off for a whole month of grocery shopping. So there's cilantro and parsley here. I am going to trim the ends of this and add some more filtered water, which will keep it nice and fresh. So my refrigerator is looking a little empty, but there is still plenty of things in here that I can make. I still have 1 pepper left. I think I started with 10 or 12 during this grocery cycles, so we have went through a bunch of them. I have a little bit of spinach left, which still looks great here in the bag. If I don't end up using all of this in the next week, I will take out the paper towel and just throw this whole stash or silicone bag into the freezer, and then I can use this for recipes. And you notice I always squeeze out the air before I close it back up. And then up here at the top, we have some pickled onions. We just did a YouTube video for it. We still have some crunchy pickles that are in there. They're actually from last fall, so we just had Easter yesterday, so we are many months into having pickles still in our refrigerator. There's some sauerkraut up there. We have videos for all of those different items if you're looking how to make those. And this is our avocado ranch dressing. We also use it as a spread to put on our tortillas when we're making wraps. And we have some cottage cheese and feta cheese up here, and I just have to kind of laugh. This is just a little tiny bit of feta cheese that's left. This is actually from last July. So I haven't been using up the rest of this just to show how long it lasts. I have Greek yogurt and cottage cheese up there in glass jars with the metal lid, which those normally last for around 6 weeks. And with the metal lid in the glass container, that will last for another 2 weeks or so afterwards. There's also some cream cheese and some eggs in my refrigerator. And then down here, I have some more of this pear sauce. It was actually not applesauce, it was pears. I keep using up some of the quart jars of pears that I had and making some applesauce out of that, and that way we're eating it up a little bit more. And then whenever I cut up an onion, I always cut up the entire thing and I store it in a glass jar with a metal lid, so there's no smells. It's completely airtight, and this will stay fresh for another 10 days or so. There's some peaches, which we've been trying to eat up a bunch of peaches. Mike likes peaches and cottage cheese, so he likes that for a snack, and we had so many quarts of them. We are trying to use those up before we move. So if you've been following some of my videos, you know that we're trying to use up some of our pantry items because we're getting our house ready to list and we're going to be moving away. And then down here at the bottom are actually some leftovers that we've had. Some of it is some cooked mixed vegetables that we had with some shrimp one night, and then another night we had it with some teriyaki sauce on it. And then we also have another container that has some cooked carrots and squash that we had kind of separate for somebody special that was here visiting over the weekend. And down here you see me buy big bags of lemons all of the time. This is the one that Mike has left. He drinks a lemon water like every single morning, so he has 1 lemon left, and that's really the only thing that we are kind of almost out of that he eats a lot. So he'll probably divide this into quarters to kind of stretch it out for the rest of the week. And there's still a bunch of oranges in here. We have a little bit of carrots left that are whole that I never got around to cutting up. There's a couple pieces of peppers in here in the celery and carrots because I just didn't want to add another container. We were eating this as a snack with that ranch dressing. There's still a cucumber in there that I need to slice. Again, there's no mold spores or anything on it because I washed it when I brought it home. I can slice that and put it in the jar, and that will stay fresh for another 10 days or so. This is the last of the lettuce that we have left over that was in this glass container. I love this container because it fits a whole head of lettuce, and we'll link this in the description. But this is the last of the lettuce that we have left over. I haven't been to the grocery store in 3 weeks, so we have enough lettuce here to last for the rest of the week. And this is the last of the zucchini that we had. I had chopped it up and had been adding adding it to some of our recipes just to sneak in a little bit more veggies, but this is the last of the zucchini. I had bought a big bag of zucchini when I went grocery shopping. I wanted to show this artichoke. When I had purchased it, it was really tight together and it has kind of ripened a little bit as it has been sitting in the refrigerator, which is great. It's better to eat now. But I noticed that the water level on this is a little low. So I'm going to trim off about a 1/4 inch of the bottom of this. It will refresh the vascular system of the plant and add some more filtered water to this, and it will keep sucking up water. It will keep the artichoke fresh until we're ready to eat it. Again, we have at least another week until I'm going to the grocery store. I wanted to make sure to show you the basil too before we closed out this video. So here is our basil that I got at the grocery store the last time we went 3 weeks ago, and I made sure this thing was overgrown and it was in a peat moss pot. So I had used all that I needed to use and trimmed it back down to the lowest healthy leaves, and now it has grown a couple extra set of leaves since I did this. They like to have wet roots, so I keep it in this glass container that has a hole at the bottom, and then I make sure that it has a little bit of water at the bottom so it keeps sucking up water. But this will keep growing all spring and summer as long as we keep it watered. And I like having basil in the kitchen. Not only does it smell amazing, but it's kind of fun because it looks a little dramatic when it gets dry and it slumps over. So it's one of those plants that really talks to you that it needs to be watered. I almost forgot about the kiwi because I'm actually allergic to it and I can't touch it. So that is something that Mike only eats. So as we're looking at the produce that I have going in from week 3 to 4, I'm planning the meals around the things that I have to make sure that we're using it up. And then next Monday, I will go grocery shopping again.